Hey everyone, it's been a while, hasn't it? I've been traveling a ton for my job and it's been exhausting, but still pretty cool stuff. Going from New Mexico to Colorado to Florida, and now I'm back and I'll be back for a while, so get ready for more regular episodes again. But there's a lot of really cool technology being developed around the world, in the US, so yeah, pretty cool stuff. But we're here to talk Overwatch. And it sucks that every time I'm gone for a while, there's so much news. There's so many things I want to talk about. From the horrible patches of buffs and nerfs of season 10 with Orisa and Roadhog and Malga being meta again. And you guys know how I feel about those guys. And just, the rework they did for Hammond not really doing anything to address any of his problems. And like more like dev things where we see the people getting banned for like using regular cuss words like what are they say, like fucking shit or something like that. And I guess mainly the overall state of tanks right now, and I'll get to all those. And there's a lot of other things, and I also haven't made a how to fix video in several months now. But yeah, so there's a lot to talk about. I'm back now, so I'll be talking about all those. But I wanted to make a quicker video now to kind of get myself back into the flow. So in this video, I want to talk about, well, actually, before we get into that, I did start another YouTube channel before I left on my several trips for work, and it's a One Piece YouTube channel. So it's about power scaling One Piece characters, and I only have, well, I have a decent amount of episodes now because I kind of made a lot and then kind of let them come out. But I haven't really promoted it on anything because I wasn't here. So if you guys are interested in One Piece and power scaling, which if you're into One Piece like hardcore, you're definitely into power scaling. The channel is called the One Piece Power Scaling channel. So it should be pretty easy to find. Maybe not. I'll put it in the description. Yeah, I'll put that in the description and maybe in the comment section. But yeah, if you're into One Piece, please subscribe. I only have like 12 subscribers right now, and that's without doing any promotions. So I'm hoping it's gonna grow. I'm gonna be pushing it more maybe this weekend, since it's a 3-day weekend. So yeah, in this video I wanted to talk about something that's been on my mind for maybe the past year. Yeah, something like the past year. And that's the argument that people make of, when we get into the 5v5 versus 6v6 conversation, a lot of people kind of say there's no point of talking about 6v6 because it's never going to happen. And every time I hear this, I ask myself, why? Like, why do you think it's never going to happen? Like, is it just like a quick way for people to shut other people up that they don't agree with, or is it like a holier than thou type of mentality or something? But like, there's been so many drastic changes to Overwatch since the day it came out that fundamentally changed the entire game, that I don't know why people say that going back to 6v6 is just not going to happen. That's very weird to me. Like, I don't know if people remember, but we used to have 4 different roles, right? It was tank, defense, DPS, and support. And then they combined defense with DPS, but defense was more like the opposite of what a tank was, where it's supposed to prevent the enemy from making space, right? That's why Mei has a wall, while tanks were supposed to be making space. And we had other differences, like Doomfist used to be a tank, Symmetra used to be a support, and like, look at all the changes that were done to Mercy over the years, right? Her kit has completely changed. She's not even the same character anymore. But even more importantly, we used to have 6v6 and then changed to 5v5. Like, why can't we just do the same thing backwards? That's crazy to me that people say it's impossible. It's the exact same thing, just in reverse. Like, they had the bandwidth to do it one way, they could do it the other way. Like, sometimes when you argue or debate with someone and they go the high and mighty route, like, there's no point of talking about this because it's never gonna happen. And then you're like, then why are you even here? Like, the context of the conversation isn't like if it's gonna happen, it's like if it's better or not. Like, in the context of it happening, what is better, right? It's like when you give somebody a hypothetical situation and they're just like, that's never gonna happen. One, that's an indicator of IQ, but also it's like, yeah, Yeah, dork, but it's a freaking hypothetical question. Like, think within the confines of the conversation. But yeah, that's me being a little spicy, and I'm gonna get spicier, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna get spicier. Just kidding. I'm not really that spicy of a guy. I think the most controversial video I made was that calling what was her name again? Venture, calling Venture by her pronouns instead of they them. So that's as spicy as we get here. So, you know, we're pretty tame. And it wasn't even that controversial. Everybody, whether they agreed or disagree, everybody's pretty cool about it. So, you know, we're just that type of crew over here, ladies and gentlemen. We can respectfully disagree. But yeah, I think I may have drifted off topic a little bit. But yeah, why don't people think we can go back is I guess the point of this question, this video. If the game starts to suffer, or if the developers get tired of the bad press or whatever, I don't see why it's hard to see that the devs themselves would kind of want to change the game. Like, it could be this whole marketing campaign of, hey guys, we've listened to your complaints for the past few years, and secretly in the background we respect our gamers, and we decided to bring back 6v6. Like, let's not forget that we had open queue before, and they changed it to roll queue because enough people complained about it for a very long time, and then eventually they did it, right? It's a thing that has been done, and they didn't even do it over like a big change of the game. They did it in the middle of the life cycle of Overwatch 1. They didn't even call it Overwatch 1.5. They were just like, yeah guys, we're changing it. And then they did it, and then everybody was like, great. Everybody was surprised that it was going to happen. Like, because before that, everybody was like, it's not going to happen. They're not going to do that. Blah, 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 blah. And then they did it. And, you know, another list to do devil's advocate or, you know, steel manning, everything I'm saying, people can say, hey, but they wanted to show that there's a big difference between Overwatch 1 and 2, and for them to go back would be embarrassing to them. My response was, that was back when they were working under Bobby Kotick, and he's not there anymore, and they hated him. Like I feel like that's the consensus of everybody that was working over there. Like, they didn't like his ideas, they didn't like his gimmicks, and, you know, right now, ever since they were bought by Microsoft, they've been doing very aggressive experiments. They've proven that they want to test several things out, and now that they're kind of more free, they've proven it. They're doing some crazy stuff right now. And let's not forget that the people working on Overwatch are people. They're also regular people. If we're this divided as a Overwatch community, like in public, they're probably just as divided, like in the development rooms or, you know, behind closed doors. And I honestly imagine that they're going to try to put some version of 6v6 in the game, kind of like how we were able to keep open queue. I think we're probably going to have all three versions. Only problem will be how they balance everything. But I think, from my understanding, they've been... Actually, I don't know. I don't want to say that without any proof. So I guess that's a big hurdle, hiring enough people to balance two different versions of the game. But I really do think that is something that will eventually happen if we keep going for it, right? And I'm going to be a bit ruthless with this, but I think the mentality of there's no point of talking about something because it's never going to happen is a loser mentality. I think it's such a loser mentality. Like, if you've ever worked towards something, or, you know, started a business or accomplished something difficult, you've seen that nothing is easy, but anything can be done. It might be a bit, you know, more complicated than other things to do. You might need to get better organized, and you may have several steps along the way. But if you have ever accomplished anything difficult in your life, you would have seen that you take it one step at a time, and you can do anything, right? This goes for us trying to convince Blizzard to bring back 6v6, and even Blizzard trying to pull back from 5v5 to go to 6v6. And I guess you can also say that this goes for Blizzard for eventually making 5v5 work, and, you know, that's fair. And who knows, maybe there is some version of 5v5 that works, you know, with enough trade-offs. But I think it's clear that 6v6 would not only be easier to accomplish, but would have the least amount of trade-offs. Mainly because we've already seen it work very well, right? We were there at some point in the game's life cycle. We were there where 6v6 was awesome and everybody playing it loved the game. It was the fall of 2019 or 2020 or something like that, and then, you know, the devs for some reason told us that we were wrong, although we were all happy. But, you know, that's weird. That's probably deserves its own video. But anyways, I'll leave it here, and you know, I'm gonna get more consistent with the videos I release now that I'm back, so you know, stay tuned for that. But yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment whether you agree or disagree. You know, let me know why I'm dumb or why I'm smart. And don't forget, I love you. Also, don't forget about my One Piece channel. If you guys are into One Piece, it is called the One Piece Power Scaling channel on YouTube, and I'll put a link in the description. Also, everyone, guess what? I wrote a book. It's a high fantasy young adult adventure based off of African mythology called Konfaga, Roots of a Very Old Tree. So if you like your grandiose adventure stories with an overarching mystery to be solved and theorized around, like Dark Souls or One Piece, I think you'll have fun with this one. So yeah, here's an ad for the book. Konfaga, Roots of a Very Old Tree, a high fantasy young adult book with a modern take on African mythology. After a mysterious confrontation with his father at school, Marcus Jobda finds himself in the land of Kara. With a small band of determined adventurers and a robust magic system he must quickly learn, Marcus begins his search for his family, a way home, and simultaneously tries to discover the mystery of the disappearances. From escaping Mamiwara and preventing wars between kingdoms, he'll need every edge his wits can give him to see the next day. However, the more he learns, the less things appear as they seem. But does he really want to go back to his old life? With hundreds of illustrations filled with clues of the history of the world, join Marcus as he attempts to solve this mystery. Konfaga, Roots of a Very Old Tree is available now on Amazon. Link in the description.